All right, so while discussing spirit, one common theme here is that I don't have the hubris to say this is the truth. Of course, I believe in universal truths, but my main goal is to communicate my lived experiences, what I've seen work within myself and other people, and communicate that with you so that you can find what works for you. Now, spiritually, the beating heart of the spiritual modules is identifying your purpose. Now, there's many ways to do this, and we're going to cover them in this module, but it's so important that this is at the center of everything you do. Even when we get into the social mastery and especially relationships, having a mission, having a purpose is what is actually at the center of every single social interaction you do, is at the center of everything. So don't forget, it's one of the three primary colors. This is one of the three primary modules, the spiritual mastery. So very important that you know your purpose. So to discover what your purpose is, we're going to uncover two Japanese ideas. One is known as your Ikigai, and the other one's known as your Misogi. We're going to figure out exactly how you can have an impact in this life and how that can fuel your purpose. But if you're wandering through life, you're not sure what you're here for, these next few slides should give you absolute clarity on that. Finally, so your Ikigai, this is a Japanese term for your purpose, basically. And it's a beautifully visualized way to see it. Now, the term was popularized by this book on the left here. But as you can see, your Ikigai is the convergence of what you love, what the world needs, what you could be paid for, and what you are good at. And so you can see the intersections here between two of these spheres, but like in the middle, in the absolute center, that is your Ikigai. So let's figure it out using an example. So the first circle is what you love. And I really suggest you use verbs for this, not just I love people, but rather I love interacting with people, for instance, right? So in this case, let's explore what my Ikigai could be. Let's list 10 things that I, Mateo, love to do. I love traveling. I love interacting with people. I love solving cognitive problems. I also love filming and editing videos. And I love watching films. I also love metaphysical exploration and philosophical debates. I also love adrenaline-raising activities. I love to swim. I love nature excursions, and I love making people laugh. So when you do this for yourself, try to find some pictures if you want to make a mood board, really visualize it, but also just list down the 10 items, that things you love, and make sure they're in verb format so you can emphasize exactly what it is you love to do. Now, the next circle is identifying what you're good at. So I'm really good at reading people. I'm good at pattern recognition. I'm good at persuading people. I'm good at networking. I'm also good at articulating abstract concepts. I'm good at math, and especially trigonometry and calculus. I got a 5 on the AP test and an A in the class. I'm also really good at oil painting. My mom's an artist, and I started really young. I'm also really good at dropping people's guards, letting people relax psychologically. I'm also really good at making others feel seen and heard. I'm also really good at spatial memorization, which is a study hack. My brother and I, we actually have something known as semi-photographic memory, so that makes it really easy to study. I just take pictures with my mind, so we're good at that. So the third circle you need to explore is what the world needs. So I believe the world needs more sovereign and masculine individuals. I also think the world needs more divine femininity. I also think the world needs selfless contribution to community. I also think the world needs God-fearing parents and critical thinking and young people who want to start families. I also think the world needs stoic composure and an appreciation for effort and aesthetics. And I think the world needs respect for tradition and ancestral wisdom, as well as loving others as the default. Now, the last part, the final circle, is what you could be paid for. So for me, I could be paid for solving problems I've resolved myself previously. I could be paid for guiding people towards their goals. I can manage teams. I can network and connect people to the right people. I can also help people define their desires, take abstract concepts and define it. I can also get paid for monetizing people's passions. I can also be paid for building no-code/low-code solutions. I could also be paid for creating email campaigns. I could be paid for fleshing out sales funnels and creating hypnotic video content. And I know this because I've been paid for doing some of this work already. Now, taking those 4 circles and looking at 10 items in each, so we have 40 data points to look at, I can put together what my Ikigai likely is, which is helping high energy business owners use the full power of digital marketing to serve their clients at the highest level while earning record profits so they can live their lives to the fullest. Now, I do this for my business, Veloxis. It's an automation agency, but I help in all aspects of business, particularly for brand new business owners within their first couple of years in business, because I'm in that position myself and I love helping problems. And a lot of these entrepreneurs I've found are people who are super high energy. They actually do the tasks that I lay out for them. They actually want to improve. So I found myself a niche, and it's actually really self-rewarding because it's exactly what I'm lined up to do. It's something I love, it's something I'm good at, it's something the world needs, and it's something I can get paid for. Now, if you need more help to be in tune with yourself and the universe and what it needs from you, having an actual gratitude practice helps in this regard so much. So gratitude journaling is amazing, but after doing it for a while, I noticed that I can feel like it has limited effect in my corner of the world. When I was young, my brother was upset about something. Me, being the older brother, I tried to do everything I could to cheer him up. I remember the moment clear as day. We were in his room, which looked out to the backyard, and there was the brightest red cardinal sitting on a branch just outside his window. I told him, "Look, Martin, a cardinal. You know, every time you see one, it brings good luck." Now, he was a kid, and he instantly cheered up. Sure, that was a white lie, but it's been over 15 years since I said that, and I don't know if he remembers that or not, or how long he looked out for cardinals. But for me, today, every time I see a cardinal, it has literally always brought with it positive and happy moments. It's become a good luck charm. So I use this for other critters too. If you live in the city, make an effort to spot pigeons or doggos and just be grateful for small little interactions with other life forms out there. Like there's different gratitude dailies you could do. So you can express gratitude to a stranger. You can express gratitude to someone you know already. You can express gratitude to wildlife like I'm talking about. These daily gratitude practices, they ground you in your current blessings and it forces you to become aware and present with what you already have. And when you keep doing that, you develop a muscle. You develop the presence muscle, the awareness muscle, and it makes it far easier to identify what you're good at, what you love to do, what can you be paid for, and what the world needs. It helps you develop the muscles necessary to pull out those data points to build those 4 areas so that you can finally identify your Ikigai. Now, I'm so excited for this one. This is another Japanese concept. This is known as Misogi. Now, what is a Misogi? A Misogi is a Japanese concept of a yearly challenge. So the first rule is that it has to be really hard, and the second one is that you can't die. Okay, so this idea was popularized in the West by Michael Easter's book, The Comfort Crisis. Now, I have been doing this without knowing that it's called a misogi, but every year I always try to do something difficult. In 2023, I chose to abstain from alcohol entirely. I've not had a single drop of alcohol at all. In 2022, I did the Camino de Santiago. I did the pilgrimage with my best friend in Spain. In 2021, I did my first ever half Ironman. But basically, a misogi is you force yourself to do something difficult every year. And what that does is that it forces you to have an interesting life. It forces you to do hard things. And by embracing discomfort, you reclaim your wild, happy, and healthy self. And these little moments of wildness, of really putting yourself out there, seeing what you're made of, it forces you also to really look at yourself in the mirror, see who you are. So I've already mentioned this, I'm pretty sure, in the past couple modules, but I plan on swimming the English Channel at some point. And so that's a 20-hour swim and just things like that. So just make sure you do something hard every single year. It's very easy to make it a physical thing like I've been doing, but it can also be a financial thing, like starting your business or finally opening a holding company for your businesses and opening that bank account in Cyprus. Like you can use this concept of misogi to do a hard thing every single year. That'll bring you closer to your purpose. Now, as we progress through this, we need to really identify these terms. There's a purpose, a mission, and a vision. And clarifying these 3 will get you closer to where you want to be. Now, get out a piece of paper, okay? Pause this if you need to. All right, you're back. Your purpose is your why. Why do you do what you do already? What are your drivers? What drives you? What scares you? What would happen if you didn't follow through? Like figure out why you are who you are and why you do what you do. Even if it's just vague for now, just write it down. It's making it real. When you transfer it from your head into paper, it's become real now. Metaphysically, it literally has become real right now. So put it on paper. Identify what your whys could be, what you think they could be. That is the genesis to identifying your purpose. Now, draw a line under that and let's look at your mission. Your mission is more specific. This is the what. What do you do now? And as you identify the steps you need to do now, identify for whom those are for. Why do you need to make 10K a month? Why do you need to open that agency? Why? Like, who's it for? Like, what does this achieve? What exactly do those goals that you identified before, what do they achieve? And what do you stand for? What are your values? For me, one of my highest values is family, loyalty and family. Just identify this. It adds flesh to the bones of your purpose. Okay. Now, lastly, your vision. Your vision is the how. How will you do this? So if you are going to make 10K a month, how do you do this? Are those going to be 10 clients with a 1K offer? Or are they going to be 5 clients and a 2K offer? Like, just make it real. How are you going to do this? And using the 4-hour work week dreamlining exercise, what is something you could do today to get you on track? What is something you can do tomorrow? And what is something you can do the day after that? Where are you going? Like, identify the how here. And in the yellow intellectual mastery modules, we cover this. There's a printout for you to do in the dreamlining exercise. That's from Tim Ferriss's 4-hour work week. This helps exactly with this point. So make sure you do that and print it out. Now, already buying this course, I know you're not an average person. I know you want more out of your life. And as we discuss this and you finally are adding flesh to your purpose, you're identifying what it is, while it's fresh in your mind and while you're feeling motivated, I really feel a moral obligation to talk about the impact you're going to have in the world. Now, I've bought thousands of dollars of courses and I've attended so many masterminds. I don't really see a lot of people discuss this, what I'm about to say right now, but I guarantee you guys are going to have a massive impact on the world. You and I both know you're destined for great things, but there is a war going on, a spiritual war. There's different ways to do business. I've done business with different types of people, and I promise you, if you start with your purpose and you just plant in there a seed of altruism, you're going to get rewarded tenfold, okay? I really, really highly encourage you guys to think about others. Now, I'm no hippie, okay? I'm not a socialist or anything like that. I'm a proud capitalist. But I feel that's very important to clarify that that does not mean that it is mutually exclusive to caring about your neighbor. So as you amass more status, more money, more influence, I highly encourage you to look within and without. As you gain more power, you are on this planet to help other people. Like, you can help people who can't help themselves. And I really encourage you guys to really take care of each other, okay? Now, this module is much shorter than the rest because it is hyper-focused. We are laser-focused on identifying where your purpose is. We're going to get into your homework in a second, but just wanted to emphasize how this is your only mission for now, is identifying your purpose. Figure out where your Ikigai is, okay? So let's look at your homework. Your homework is to submit a picture of your Ikigai Venn diagram. Remember to have at least 10 bullet points for each of these 4 areas. This module is super short because this is super important. I really want you guys to laser focus and figure out what your Ikigai is. That exercise will give you so much clarity on why you're here and what you can do. So make sure you submit your homework. An example could be someone who says, well, I love to hike and be outdoors, and I'm good with spatial awareness, and the world needs leadership, and I can be paid for managing a team to achieve a common goal. So my Ikigai could likely be that I'm an elite special forces soldier. Like one of my best friends growing up, he's a ranger now. And I'm assuming this is how he would fill it out, but he's really skilled in these areas. And he ended up being a U.S. Army Ranger. So I'm looking forward to reading your Ikigai Venn diagrams, and I'm looking forward to you identifying your purpose and your Ikigai. See you guys in the next one.